doing bust moves. Stay true, the killer to stay smooth. Handsome brothers stay set in the mood, but they wanted funky rhymes from the brother so cool. Trying to check the vibes and set the conversation. The keenest minds to find this observation. I'm Montana podcast, so dope, now face it. We'll be the first to declare our greatness. Check it, now check it, I'm checking it twice. On the weekly, I'm busting, cause busting is life. If you don't know, now you do though. You should peep game, that'd be cool though. Cause your part is crucial, so get on the movement. If you ain't busting, don't know what you doing. Wasting your time and ignoring the truest. Some of the realest, they greatly influence. Kings in Montana creating a movement. Scrapping or rapping or laughing or acting, it really don't matter, cause this is our passion. We busting and trusting, it really is something. When it comes to our family, you know that we love them. That's how we roll. Montana in the house and we taking control. Podcast kings in the place to be. We taking over, just wait and see. Slow down and catch the vibe. Weekly buzz will be on tonight. No boasting, true and tried. It's Buzzwood, it's ride or die. Slow down and catch the vibe. Weekly buzz will be on tonight. No boasting, true and tried. It's Buzzwood, it's ride or die.
Hey everybody, welcome to season 2 of Fight World Live.
He said Fight World live on Amazon Prime.
You are being joined by the Weekly Bust, and we are bringing you a top-notch level of a guest. Levi, why don't you give him the real, proper introduction that this man deserves?
All right, we are live with Jeff, Mr. Live Worldwide Houston. What's up, sir?
Let's go.
Oh my goodness. Here we are with Levi, Tylin, and Jake. We got the Weekly Bust, a very impressive opening song. Here comes the question that I have. All that busting that's going on, what exactly is getting busting?
Well, now it means busting bare knuckles, baby.
We're busting on the scene straight out of Montana, baby.
You know, busting beds, backs, whatever we got to do out there, faces.
Cheeks, asses, you know how it goes.
Cracks.
Backs, bare knuckle. Hey, man, that's a t-shirt idea if I ever heard one. Hell yeah.
That's right. That's right. Merch all the way up. So, Jeff, Mr. Houston, how are you doing, my man?
Doing pretty good. Not quite as frozen as the three of you over there in the tundra that is Montana, but at a balmy 55 degrees down here in South Texas, here in Loudmouth Central, I'm doing quite fine. I brought out my winter onesie for the Weekly Bust. I wanted to dress the part.
Hell yeah.
It's so cold outside, it finally made me put pants on.
You know how
That's
he
another
just
podcast in itself. All right.
how Jeff just described the weather down there. I think we should do like a monthly episode where he comes on and describes how awesome Texas is compared to the weather is compared to up here.
We are in the tundra right now. It's negative like 38 degrees out right now,
It's
man.
wild.
Your breath freezes as soon as it comes out.
Your breast freeze?
It just falls to ice.
Yeah.
Yeah, your breath is out.
It all freezes at that temperature, brother.
Yeah.
Nothing is safe or sacred.
No,
Anyhow, man, we have a tradition on the show of when we're bringing a guest on, especially a new one and a high caliber one like you, AK-47 chopper, Jeff Houston. We need to know, and the fans need to know, and the audience has to be engaged in understanding where this man came from and where did he go. Cotton Eye Joe, who is Jeff Houston in the man's word himself?
The man's word himself. Well, Jeff Houston's a complicated man. Complex man, a man of many types, a man of many visions, a man who doesn't really know the taste of quiche. You know, one of those men who just rough, tough, and hard to bluff, man. No, fuck that noise. I'm not any of that. Let's go ahead and let's get real. Just simple man, just Mr. Live Worldwide, ended up becoming Mr. Live Worldwide on accident. I honestly think that I became Mr. Live Worldwide because my mother couldn't afford cable. And I know that makes you scratch your head wondering, well, back in the day when you had a cable black box, but parents weren't exactly chipping in to buy pay-per-views when you're a combat sports fan or wrestling fan. Back in the day, you go to the channel and you can hear it, but you can't see it. Either you get scramble vision, snow, or just all black, but you get to hear everything from moment one to moment done. So might as well be a radio show. the ring announcers throughout all of those, didn't matter what it was, always stood out because you're focusing on what you're listening to, not what you're seeing. So the
Yeah,
ring
okay.
announcers always stood out. One in particular, the man who probably got Mr. Live Worldwide set on his journey, the one and only, the late and great Howard Finkel from WWE. In my opinion, the greatest ring announcer to have ever put on a tuxedo, ever hold a mic, and not a good looking guy. I mean, he looked like a high school chemistry teacher in a tuxedo. Not too much as far as presentation, but when he would belt out introductions, it's like the earth, it stood still. And I remember the first time I got to hear him live at WrestleMania 3, Hulk and Andre. I was actually
That's
there at
so
the
rad.
Pontiac. I was there at the Pontiac Silverdome. I was fourth row center. I was almost 10 years old. I was 9 years old when I
Unforgettable
heard
moment.
that. And I just remember 93,000 people going crazy when he made an announcement. And he didn't have to throw a single punch. He's standing there in a tuxedo. I'm just saying to myself, what a fucking cool job this is. So that's kind of how I guess I had always appreciated the position. Didn't really do anything with it until I was about 25, and I started off in indie pro wrestling. I assume that a lot of us who make it to the next level start off very similar, the same way. We start off in indie pro wrestling, making no money, getting our asses kicked every day, uh, you know, building up the ring, tearing it down, just, doing grunt work, and as you should be when you start. And it just kind of snowballed from there, man. I just said that, I got a taste for this. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm green as fuck, but got a taste for it. So it kind of built into that. And I'd always been a combat sports fan. Guys, I'm going to be totally honest with you on this. I'm not exactly the biggest team sports fan because I've always been an individual sports fan. That's why I love combat sports so much because I like watching the one man make the journey. I like
That's kind
seeing
of
the
like
one
a
man
funny
grind.
consensus. Like everyone that's involved in the fight world, you often hear it. I don't watch any other sport but fighting.
It's the grind. It's the journey. And granted, there's a team behind that. There's family behind that. It's never on your own, but it is just that one person out there when the bell rings, when you toe the line, when you go to your corner. It doesn't matter. It's the one man that does that. And I've always just been drawn to that. I've always appreciated that. When I watch
Where
team
where, where
sports,
were
I
you
always
born
watch.
at, Jeff?
What's that?
Where were you born? Where were you where'd you come up? Where were you raised? I guess.
Well, I spent the first 12 years of my life in Rockford, Illinois, just outside of outside of Chicago. That's where I kind of started falling in love, of course, when I was about 6 or 7 years old. I fell in love with professional wrestling and American kickboxing. My father was very, very good friends of, at that time, the world super heavyweight champion, Bad Brad Hefton, who was the heavyweight world champion back in the day. A lot of people don't know that name. I'm like, that's because you got to reach back way far to know about it. But he was a badass. He was a badass in the ring, and I had just always been drawn to fighting over everything else. So, and that was a good place to actually grow up with fighting. It was a all American town. Everybody watched the fights. Everybody
Yeah.
watched Tyson. Everybody watched. I moved out. I moved before the UFC got there. But as far as boxing, as far as American kickboxing, and anything that came in between, great town to watch fights.
I love that your story, that you can immediately reflect where your changing moment of your life is, that you really wanted to do a career like that. I think of, when I think of announcers, I think of Michael Buffer, and he had all them opportunities and like movies and shit. I think he was in some of the Rockies even. As a ring announcer, let's get ready to rumble.
Bruce Buffer?
No, that's his brother, isn't it?
Bruce is UFC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dang,
I'm talking about
shit, I
Michael,
need
man.
to
Let's
figure it
get
out.
ready to rumble. You'd hear it all the time, man. That's a saying that you hear all the time throughout the whole
It's an
world.
iconic saying for sure.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like that's
Songs,
it's
video
just
games, all of it.
yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's such a memorable thing that a lot of people don't think of, as a great American saying, but that generated from a ring announcement. Yeah, like that's pretty cool that you have a direct reflection of like, shit, I want to do that, and you chased your dream. That's so cool.
Yeah, but at the same time, if we're talking about catchphrases, I can appreciate what Michael Buffer did, but the trend that they set forth for ring announcers, I hate it. I fucking hate it because ring announcers are now dependent on catchphrases rather than doing
Oh,
rather than doing a good job from moment one to moment done. I think that's the most important job aspect of a ring announcer because when I tell people that I'm a ring announcer, if they don't know me, one of the first questions they ask me, "What's your catchphrase?"
oh, that's
Rather
really?
than, oh my God, that's such a cool job. Everybody expects everybody to have a catchphrase. And unfortunately, it does come with the territory. So I've gone through my plethora of catchphrases. I hated almost every single one because
It felt forced or something.
well, they always felt forced. It always felt like this is something that I had to do rather than focusing on doing the best job possible when I'm in the ring. And I think that that's vastly more important. Like I have ring announcers or those who want to be ring announcers come up to me all the time, and they ask, they ask advice. But one of the first things they say is, I really want to develop a catchphrase. I'm like, that's the first thing that comes to mind. I said, then you are looking at the job completely the wrong way. Because let's be honest, how many ring announcers in the world have truly monetized and capitalized off of catchphrases? There's only a few.
Right.
There's
Yeah,
only a few.
a
There's "Let's
handful.
Get Ready to Rumble" from Michael Buffer. There's "It's Time" from Bruce Buffer. "It's Showtime" didn't even belong to Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Right.
That was property of Showtime because if you ever watched Jimmy Lennon Jr. outside of Showtime, he never
Ah,
used "It's Showtime."
Showtime owns the rights to that one, huh?
Well, they did. Showtime Championship
No
Boxing
longer.
is no more.
Yeah, that's true. As of recently,
They've
rest in
said they're
peace to
fighting
one
on
of the
Raw.
great companies in boxing.
Yeah, yeah, it was a shame. But like for example, people always think that, with BKFC that I've copied Bruce Buffer when I say it's time to knuckle up. And I'm always the first one to say I did not come up with that catchphrase. That is actually BKFC property. So what happened was at BKFC 1, Big Dave came up to me and said, "I'd like you to say it's time to knuckle up for like the main event, but I want you to make it your own. But I want you to
Okay.
make it your own." And I thought about it for a while because I'm never a big fan of somebody telling me what to do as far as something like that. But this was brand new, and this was a brand new relationship that I was building with Dave. And I said to myself, you know what? I'll take a stab at it. Because, I mean, I'll beta test it for a while. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? It doesn't work. We try something else. But over the time, it actually started to work, and I would get so much hate mail, people saying you're copying, you're copying, you're copying. I'm like, you know what it is, guys? I'm sorry if I'm hijacking the entire interview. I'm a talker.
No, you're
No,
good.
no,
No,
no.
dude, I'm loving it.
Well, I'm loving
Anytime
every
you can
single
get us
thing.
to listen, that's good.
Yeah, that means we're engaged. Holy fuck! If you can get us to shut up.
Yeah.
Hey, hey, hey! I know we got three degenerates over there, but three degenerates that I like nonetheless.
Hell
Um,
yeah.
Fucking right.
Good boy, Jeff.
Rock
yeah,
and roll.
it's just interesting because I would say to them, well, honestly, I really don't care because that's somebody who doesn't know what the hell they're doing. They've never spent a day in my shoes and a day on the microphone, so not exactly advice that I would take to heart or criticism that I would take to heart. But what's funny about it is that there were different variations that were used that it's time way before Bruce Buffer decided to do it. And another reason why everybody knows it is because Bruce Buffer is part of the most popular, the most watched combat sports organization that has ever existed on this planet. Nothing has moved faster, is worth more collectively, and has more diehard fans as of right now in combat sports than the UFC. So with that frequency, people get to know Bruce Buffer so intimately, and they criticize him on even the smallest transgression that he could make on UFC programming. So everybody knows that, but he doesn't corner the market when it comes to catchphrases. He doesn't corner the market when it comes to excitement. The one thing that I try to do at this stage in my career, stay away from imitation as much as I possibly can. I don't want to do that because I see that in the younger generation. you know, people send me videos all the time. In addition to asking questions, they send me videos all the time because they think that I'm going to help advance their career. Well, I'll tell you, 9 out of 10 out of these videos that are submitted, they're 100% imitating Bruce Buffer.
So
And I say to
speaking of,
myself, why would I want to refer you when your outlook on my career, which I love very much, you're just a carbon copy of someone else. No thanks.
Yeah.
No.
so as you're talking about trying to avoid imitation and doing things a little bit differently, I had a chance to have a nice little chat with you when we were down in Salt Lake, and I mean, I've let it be known to everyone, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, but I love your suits and I love the ties, and you had a kind of interesting story about some of your ties and kind of what you like to do and put your own spin on it. So you are avoiding, I don't know, just a little, I don't know if you want to say cookie cutter style of everyone else. You want to kind of, talk about that and what you have going on with all that.
Have the iconic suit and tie mix.
Well, Steve Jobs said one of my favorite sayings that I hold to almost every aspect of my life. I'm not going to look at the competition and do it the same. I'm going to look at the competition and I'm going to do it differently. You know, I am the biggest advocate for different. I love different. I think that's what makes people is the differences that we have from one another. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't want to 100% relate to anyone, not even my wife. I want degrees of differences in people because it makes it interesting. Because with those differences, I learn something. There's a never-ending learning process when it comes to dealing with differences of people. And I love those differences. And a big thing that I saw when it came to the cosmetics is I would see so many ring announcers that would look like, they look like maitre d's or pallbearers. Just the atypical black tuxedo, black tie, red bow tie and such. It serves certain people well, but that's not how I look at life. I look at life and I'm saying I want my own spin. I want my own spin on how I'm going to do things. And I did the steel bow ties for a long time, and a lot of people actually really dig the steel bow ties, for a long time. And I did all different kinds of things. Like for BKFC 1, I actually wore a tie that was a 3D custom printed bow tie.
What?
It was actually it was a metal 3D printed tie.
That's
I
wild.
tried to look as different as I possibly could. That was important to me. And one day I'm just, looking for, I'm thinking it's time for a change. It's time for a signature look. What am I going to look at? I happened to come across this little shop on Etsy, and there was this lady from Lithuania that was making these ties, but the bow tie turned the other way. And
That's a bow tie turned the other way.
The regular traditional bow ties always been horizontal. As long as it's been around, it's been horizontal. This one was vertical, turned the other way, and I took a look at it, and with all the extra detailing on the edges and around it, I said to myself, wow, nobody's doing that. So I got in touch with her. I started buying ties religiously for the first couple of years, and then after that, I sat down. I didn't sit down with her. She's in Vilnius, Lithuania. It's pretty far from me. But we communicated through email, and I was talking to her, and I said, you know what? I want this to be my signature look. I want this to be my signature look moving forward. I'd like to work out some kind of sponsorship. And I was able to do that. And she developed the Mr. Live Worldwide collection. And that's through Rudy Design. That's the name of the... That's the name of her store, Rudy Design. She does regular ties, she does formal ties, but the Mr. Live Worldwide collections, those are the ones with a little extra bling, a little extra something special that I now wear 100% for all of the BKFC events. Well, actually for all of my events. Guys, I'm so clued into this style of tie. I've actually thrown out all of my neckties. All of my neckties, everything.
That's sick, man. I like the bow tie look. I wore a few myself when I was working in sales. I used to wear bow ties every now and then. I think it's a cool look. It's a clean look. If you can pull it off, some people like get the nerd vibe, and I'm like, nah, hell no. I rock it, dude. I liked it.
It's on how you
nerd vibe. It ain't a nerd vibe if you're rocking it the right way, brother.
That's right.
Hit the nerd vibe when you're with Mr. Live
Worldwide.
Ooh,
I always kind of look at it like
we got
the
people
James
who are
Bond.
quick on the trigger. I like that.
We got three highly creative people here.
You said you started off early on in your early days. You know, when did you, you said 25, like what were you doing ring announcing? Was it MMA? Was it boxing? What were you kind of doing? You said pro wrestling, semi-pro wrestling.
Independent in the indies. I was working on the indies in local San Antonio independent pro wrestling promotions. The first one that I represented was Texas Wrestling Entertainment. The very, very first show I ever did was at a carniceria, which is a meat market in San Antonio, to a house of maybe 20 people, 25 people and such. The first thing that the promoter said to me when he met me, good voice. And I said to myself, yeah, I do. But I didn't know what the fuck I was doing as far as the psychology that goes into what the pro wrestlers do. I didn't know how to properly work a crowd. Like I go to the well with the crowd way too many times. You do that, you wear out your welcome with them really fucking quick. And as the ring announcer, with pro wrestling, every now and then you get included in the storyline somehow. And the idea is that you're always supposed to play down to the professional wrestlers, put them over at all costs. I didn't do that all the time, so I got my ass kicked a lot. Seriously, there were times that I would stand my ground to the heel. That's never a good idea if you're not a professional wrestler and active, because you can get your ass kicked. I have had so many, man. I've been put through tables. I've been busted open with chairs.
Oh, hell yeah.
I've been stripped down to boxers and ankle socks and whipped in front of 300 people. Oh, it was so bad. That was actually, that was actually a good time because they told me that they were.
That's fucking awesome, dude. Jeff, if we ever in the Texas area, man, you gotta tell us one of these shows are up so we can pull up to one of them.
Yeah, dude, I want to.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've done pro wrestling, man. I said goodbye to pro wrestling about 10 years ago. About 10 years ago. Unfortunately, financially, if you're looking to monetize on it, it's a dead end. Unfortunately, there's no money in professional wrestling on the independent level. You have to go for the WWE, AEW, Impact Wrestling, and such, or maybe even the NWA. But when I was presented the opportunity, I did get a chance to try out with WWE before, and I did a dark match in San Antonio, and it's just one of those things to where. Jim Ross comes up to you, he says, well, we're going to go ahead and look at the tape and hope to good. Hope to good. Hope everything works out for you. Good job out there, young man.
That's awesome.
Nothing else happened from there because when I came in, it was an era where they were starting to lean towards more of the ring announcer who could also look kind of like a game show host. But more like a host position. And I guess that I wasn't there as of yet. That tryout was 2008, so I was only 5 years into my career at that time. So I was, I only do so much, but it was cool to get the opportunity. It was cool to meet, key people within the WWE. But as you get older, the one thing you realize, do you really want to be on the road 300 days a year? I mean, do you really want that lifestyle? Maybe when I was 25, fuck yeah, man. I mean, at that point, nothing hurts you. You're practically invincible. But now, no
good.
In fact, I've even had people say, go try out. And I'm like, nope, everybody is where they're supposed to be.
Hell yeah. I got a question for you. If you had $1 for every time someone either mispronounced your name or nickname, how many dollars do you think you'd have?
Oh my goodness! Why do you think that my actual stage name is Houston, and my real name is Jeff Houston, but my last name is spelled like the city. The real spelling of my name is Huston, and I thought I could get away with that at the beginning, but when I was on TV, I just had too many commentators when they were doing the tosses. Let's toss it up to our ring announcer, Jeff Huston.
So he's gonna husk.
And I said, you know what? Fuck it. And I said, fuck it. We'll go with the stage name. We'll throw the O in there. So therefore, nobody mispronounces it. When that happened, even when I was working international shows, nobody ever mispronounced it again.
Levi had a fantastic question that you mentioned earlier in your when you were talking about
I got
your
this
come up. Yeah.
And you mentioned something about game show hosts, right?
Yeah.
Well, I had a question just randomly when I was sitting here making this slide. I said, name one game show host you'd like to square up with.
Yeah.
Oh, Bob Barker. If he were still alive, fuck yeah. Oh,
There you go.
fuck yeah. He inspired me when I watched Happy Gilmore. He inspired me. I was like, this
Is
dude.
Bob
I don't know if you want
I'm
to take
like,
that
this
right
dude's
straight, though.
he's got
Google it now,
crosses.
dog.
He's got hooks.
He's dead.
Are you
Yeah,
sure?
unfortunately, he
died
passed
years
away.
ago.
At
Yeah,
93, right?
yeah.
Google it though. There's a Mandela effect on him.
I was literally just
No.
about to ask if it was because of the Adam Sandler movie.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Totally just
Oh,
blanked it.
fuck yeah.
watch that
That
movie.
just
I
completely
mean,
changed my perspective on him as well. Because I'd always been a Price is Right fan. And I always thought if there's anybody who's like the quintessential game show
Yeah, he died
host announcer, he fit the profile to a T. But after that,
He made it.
and the thing is, he was willing to make himself look that fucking ridiculous and silly on a show. Says a lot about it says a lot about Bob Barker. But at that point in his career, what hasn't he done? He didn't give a fuck. Let's go
That's
ahead.
right.
Let's go toe to toe with Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
It just lays him out.
Yeah, it's awesome.
The price is wrong, bitch.
No, seriously, he had such good jabs and crosses. I'm like, this dude would actually give a scientific fight, and that's what I'd want if I was fighting a game show host. Somebody who knows the fuck what they're doing. See, if Alex Trebek were still alive and I fought him, he'd be like,
What about Now I just blanked. Oh,
Pat
Steve
Sajak.
Harvey. Oh,
Oh, okay. I was thinking.
I was thinking
Pat
current
Sajak.
right now.
Yeah.
Steve Harvey.
Pat Sajak. Yeah, he's real.
Steve Harvey? See, Steve Harvey's a big guy, but then again, I don't know what kind of center of gravity he would have when it comes to a fight.
I got him.
Because you're a big guy doesn't mean that you're gonna have a striking game on point. And you said Pat Sajak. Pat Sajak would probably actually hit me up with his lawyer saying, nah, he's out. He's out.
Hey.
You are live worldwide now. You've traveled across the globe, man. So, where's your favorite place that you've been able to announce at now? You know what I mean? You've been everywhere.
Wow, there's quite a few of them. They all have their special categories with me, as should anything when you talk about favorite and everything.
Sure.
But my favorite place that I consistently went to was definitely South Korea. Was definitely South Korea because the people, the culture, the food, and I love the fact that the national sport is Taekwondo.
Okay.
The national sport of South Korea is Taekwondo. So
where's the biggest crowd that you've been in front of?
They're natural strikers. They're natural kickers. I fucking love that.
Where's the largest crowd that you've you have announced in front of?
That would probably be the Canelo Trout fight at the Alamo Dome. It's about 44,000.
Damn, you announced there?
No, I did everything leading up to the Canelo. But by the time that we got to the Canelo, they were already packed in and ready to go.
That's so sick, though, man.
Jimmy Lennon Jr. Announced the main event. Yeah.
Still, though, that's still dope.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's why I'm so happy to see Austin Trout make his move over to BKFC.
That's gonna be a fun match, huh? That's first BKFC event of the year,
February 2nd.
I mean, first official BKFC, not prospects or anything like that. But that's gonna be awesome. Palomino versus Austin Trout. What do you think of that card and how it's shaped up? There's some bangers on there.
In my opinion, seeing as how that I've been in BKFC since day one, and I have seen how every year gets started. This card is the best card to start off the year.
This can be fun.
As far as our main numbered events, we are starting off with the Prospect Series, but if we're talking about our main numbered events, it is the best card we've ever had to start off a year. Easily.
And we got a couple Montana boys repping down there too.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. So I guess we can still talk about the card. Never mind. Go on.
Yeah.
No, go ahead, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I just had a question for him since he's been all over the place. You know.
Go ahead.
What's the number one nastiest food you ever ate?
Where at? What was the worst?
And
food you
where?
had?
Yeah.
It's got to be in South Korea, right?
But it doesn't have to be.
But it got to be, right?
I
Logically.
mean, just because you eat something different doesn't mean it's nasty. I'm thinking
Right.
more just like food that was just straight.
Believe it or not, you're right.
Yeah, it's got to be, man. It's got
Believe
to
it or
be.
not, you're right. The nastiest thing that I can remember off the top of my head, there were two things. The first one was the Korean announcer that works with Road FC. That's the promotion that I represented. There would be a Korean counterpart and myself for the English-speaking audience that was watching. His name was Mr. Youngmoon Shin. Very, very, very dear friend of mine. My Korean brother in every sense of the word.
Shout out,
very,
Young.
very fine announcer.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
that too. The second show that I was working with him, he said to me, would you like to go try some authentic, traditional Korean sushi? And I'm like, oh, I am the biggest sushi snob the world has ever known. So I'm
Hey, like fish,
fuck
huh?
yeah. Fuck yes, I would. So he takes me to this restaurant that's looks a little sketchy, and then when we go into it, it actually looks like the back area behind an aquarium. You know, there's all these, and I'm saying to myself, what the hell have
That's
I gotten
hilarious,
myself
man.
into?
They're reeling out the
Apparently-
dead fish.
I'm thinking of Jack's pet story. Steam behind it.
Dead is not the operative word. Authentic traditional Korean sushi, everything on the platter that was laid down was still moving.
Oh shit!
Everything, including the fish head that had just been freshly cut off and was still blinking.
Oh man.
Oh damn!
So that was quite a culture shock. But you know, I just grit my teeth and went through most of it and such and everything because
There's no
But
way.
you got to say they were
I'll tell
fast,
you
right?
I'll tell
You
you
got
what,
your food
guys.
fast.
It's rude not to try.
Yeah,
It's rude not to try when you're a guest of somebody else's country. And the second time, my wife actually went with me on a trip, and we had had a heavy night of drinking after the show. And one of the I believe it was one of the promoters said, we have a surefire way to help you with your hangover. And we're like, anything, this is just fucking killer. This is just killer. So we go to this place and we are served ox knuckle soup.
damn.
And basically what it is, it's the meat inside the like the knuckle and the hoof of the ox. But it's completely and totally surrounded by this big ball of gelatinous fat. Like really, really gelatinous fat.
Yuck.
And you have to eat through the fat to get to the little piece of meat.
Oh.
Eating through the fat, I hate to say it was one of the most disgusting moments of my life. And I'm saying to myself, this is what you eat to combat a hangover. Give me a Bloody Mary any day.
You're a dog,
Any
Jeff.
day.
You're a dog for getting through that.
But I love Korean food as far as I like Korean
Yeah,
barbecue
dude.
and other Korean dishes. I friggin' love it. But it's just so funny that some of my favorite dishes and some of the most heinous things I've ever eaten exist within the same country. I just find that humorous.
They just outlawed dog in South Korea.
They did for a while though. I've had it. I've actually eaten it before. I have had dog before.
Our boy
Damn, what a
Jason
thug.
be so proud of you right now.
Right?
It's very dry. It's very dry. It was all right. But what happened was when I got to Korea, they were phasing out all the restaurants that were serving dog. But when I got there, they had
I
to
don't know if he is or
advertise
not.
on the outside, on the exterior of the restaurant, that they serve dog. By law, they had to do that for the time being. But now it's been completely phased out of the culture.
Yeah. So I love sushi as well, but we don't get shit up here in Montana, Jeff. So if we're ever available sometime around, I was like, if we can get some sushi together and you can show me the proper way.
Like a
then-
floater or something.
Yeah, it'd be fun to get some sushi sometime and listen to you some more
I'm
stories.
a motherfucking sushi ninja.
All right,
Ninja.
dude.
I have had sushi. I have eaten sushi on 6 continents, my friend.
Ooh,
Damn.
nice.
Well, you gotta peep me a couple of spots. in
that's
some
good.
of the-
That's a huge flex.
That
dude.
was.
yeah. Someday,
Uh,
hopefully.
I'm sorry, I'm
He's
sorry,
gonna
guys.
stick your little butt.
If you got it, flex it. Bodybuilders know what the fuck
Hey.
I'm talking about. If you got it, flex it. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, Jeff's out there flexing tough, baby.
No doubt. No doubt.
Bucked Up is a company who has made it their sole mission to bring nothing but the best to the table when it comes to supplemental and fitness products. Founded by two forward-thinking brothers, they have assembled a team of like-minded people who have blossomed this company into a powerhouse in the fitness world as well as in the health and wellness community. Bucked Up is focused on using only the best ingredients and scientists to create amazing products that will help amplify performance, increase energy, and promote overall wellness. Jumpstart your fitness journey with some amazing Bucked Up products today. Join the weekly busboys and let's get bucked up now. Promo code weekly for 20% off at checkout.
You've been doing your own little adventure too. You got Bones the Domes with Tone, right?
It's a continuing work in process. It's not the well-oiled machine that is the weekly bust.
Oh,
Yeah,
Tweety.
I'm digging the synergy on your side. I really am. I mean, the success that you guys have recently had is definitely well earned. You guys have built one hell of a good product, and I only hope to, do even half of that justice with Bones to Domes. I'm the one that's Mr. Live Worldwide, and Tony is very, very lax. But the synergy is starting to connect a little bit, and I truly believe that we're going to have a good product.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, man. I think it's fun.
You
to
guys
see
got
this
the
grow.
guests coming on, dude. You guys got the people.
Yeah.
It'll work. It'll work.
Oh yeah, and I love your setup there. What you got going on there? So
Yeah,
Yeah, I
you be
love it.
rapping or what, Jeff? What's up with that?
I see the mic in
You
back.
be rapping, Jeff? What's up?
Oh no. The mic back there, that's for voiceovers. That's my little voiceover area. When I have voiceover clients that tag my services, and the poster behind me, Christmas present from Mrs. Live Worldwide.
Yeah,
That's
no,
so cool, man.
That's
I love
badass
the
right
poster,
there.
Shout
man.
out.
So Ty's gonna be starting a cartoon, so he might use you at some point.
Yeah, I literally was just gonna ask if you ever done voiceover for like any cartoon stuff or anything like that.
Oh yeah, I've done for commercials, for cartoons. I've been blessed with I do impressions. I do I do voices.
Let's hear some famous impressions. Can we get
You do impressions?
Some Christopher Walken, maybe?
I do.
Let's hear a couple that you think.
All right,
The
I'll-
one that I like the most, and the one that I've actually done very well, is James Earl Jones.
Let's hear it.
James Earl Jones. You guys are familiar, of course, with the original Conan the Barbarian, yes?
Yep, I am. I've seen it.
Jake is. I'm sure he definitely is.
Schwarzenegger.
Thulsa
baby.
Doom. Thulsa Doom was his character in that. All right. Where's the eye of the serpent? Rexall says you gave it to a girl, probably for a mere night's pleasure. What a loss. People have no grasp of what they do. You broke into my house, stole my property, murdered my servants and my pets, and that is what grieves me the most. You killed my snake. Falkreath is beside himself with grief. He raised that snake from the time that it was born. There you go.
Yo, get this man an Oscar! Where's this Oscar? Get this man a goddamn
That was
trophy.
fucking cool, dude.
Give
That was
him
fun.
That's very
a
good,
fucking
sir.
trophy. What the fuck is that gangster shit,
That
man?
was awesome, dude.
Yo, he
Yeah,
locked in
yeah.
quick too.
He says,
Oh.
fuck it. Let me run it,
If
dude.
they ever do any more stuff with Vader, you could
That
definitely
is
you need to hit up Disney and get
bananas,
on
baby.
that.
You just
I
gotta
was
get that
more
mouth
of a fan. I was more of a fan of. I mean, I love Darth Vader, but as far as voices goes, I was a big fan of him on Coming to America. As,
Yeah.
King Joffrey Joffer, because he
Yep.
was just so funny. One of my favorite lines when he was walking with Akeem out in the gardens. Son, I know we've never had a talk about this, but I always assumed that you had sex with your bathers. I know
Dude, Lion King is so on point. That's all I can hear is Simba. You deliberately.
Coming to America is a good one, man, and that's a good one.
All I can hear is Mufasa. What the fuck?
Yeah. I'm hearing old homeboy from Field of Dreams.
Kevin Costner.
Well, he's the dude in the yeah. I think he's that's like Kevin Costner.
I also do Morgan Freeman.
All right,
All right,
now you got it
All right, you can't just say it, and not do
from
it.
Unbreakable.
Oh, God, no. I was thinking Morgan Freeman from Bruce Almighty.
Oh my God, that's Samuel L. Jackson. I'm a fucking
Bruce
idiot, bro.
Almighty, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I just watched
Shawshank
that.
Redemption.
All right.
Get busy living, or get busy dying. That's goddamn right. For the second time in my life, I'm guilty of committing a crime. Parole violation. Of course, I doubt they'll toss up any roadblocks. Not for an old crook like me. I hope I can make it across the border. I hope to see my friend and shake his hand. I hope the Pacific Ocean is as blue as it has been in my dreams.
Dog. I bet you were the best reading in class, dog. I was not one of those.
That was
awesome.
good. That was cool, man.
God.
I love that.
I
dude.
think I missed my calling. I think honestly I should have put more time when I was young into being an actor, because I remember one of the things that I worked out a deal with teachers like in grade school. For good marks, if I got good marks throughout the week, they would set aside 10 to 15 minutes of class time, and I did movie sketches with other kids.
Damn.
What?
And we'd play out like full scenes, like from Ghostbusters, The Terminator,
Dude,
you know,
you could
whatever
be
was
the
going
best
on in
audiobook
1984,
voice ever.
85, stuff like that. So I was always, I'm a huge cinephile. I'm
For
a
real.
huge movie lover. Huge
Oh, me too.
movie lover.
Dude, you
It's
should
one
do
of my
audiobook
pastimes.
readings and get paid by fucking publishers.
Oh, dude, yeah, you got a great voice.
Your fucking audiobooks would be sick, dude.
I was gonna ask if you did any thespian type work, because you have like whole. I mean, the thing from Conan the Barbarian. I mean, that's, you know, that wasn't short, which you just recited there. So I was wondering if you did.
Well, it's the curse of the photographic memory. I watch a movie once.
I can.
Damn.
If I really like a movie, that's kind of, my wife laughs. She'd be like, "Damn, dude, we watch that like once, and you like fucking can repeat all of it." And it's, if it's good to me, I just, it's weird. Like,
So you boys are saying you love Monty Python then, right?
I haven't watched
fuck
that since I was
yeah.
like, I was.
Oh,
full-
fuck yeah.
I need to watch again, because last time I watched it, I was
Hell
in
yeah.
high school and I was high as
But
fuck. So shout out
I'm a
to him.
bigger fan. I'm a bigger fan of Faulty Towers, though.
I
I'm a
like
bigger
Spinal
fan.
Tap.
If you know Monty Python and the Flying Circus, then you know about John Cleese's show Faulty Towers, which was still to this day is the #1 rated TV show in the history of Great Britain.
That was like
I never knew
SNL.
that, dude.
Was that SNL before SNL, right? They had like a skit.
It really
improv
wasn't
show.
that. What it was is John Cleese always pushed boundaries. He was always one of those just comedians who just didn't give a shit. They gave him an entire show to not give a shit and say whatever the fuck you want. And
Okay.
that's what it was. It was absolutely...
It sounds like the bust.
No, but guys, take a moment throughout your time, watch some Faulty Towers episodes. You will
I'm gonna write it
absolutely...
down. Will do.
make it.
I'm
Faulty
gonna write it
Towers.
down so I
They're
don't forget it.
fucking
I know I will.
insane. I couldn't
Well,
believe
like, they
had
rip
the
hard
subject
then, huh?
matter that they had back then. This was like in this. It was like in the mid 70s. It was like 75, 76 when that came out. You know, so it was just right after Monty Python really started losing steam. So it went right into this. But John Cleese had no filter, none.
I do want to
someone
make
on television with no filter is fucking fun.
Hey, good on him, dude. That's
Yeah.
a different time.
I want to make a cartoon that's non-filtered. It's called,
Kind of like Big Mouth a little bit.
yeah,
Well, they
you know,
have
like an
one. It's called
adult,
South
adult cartoon of the bus, and call it the Bus World. And I want to bring you on at one point as a guest on the show. It'd be fucking dope.
The
dude.
first episode, we should do like we drink some like weird elixir and then start tripping and turn
Take this
into-
weird elixir.
this weird elixir.
Well, I can't have it alcohol based if it's, you know, obviously
Well,
if it's acid
it's not
or
really
I think
the
absinthe
beginning.
is just absinthe based.
It's not weird at the beginning, but it's weird at the end of the bottle. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you know absinthe? Look at this guy.
Do you know absinthe?
Have I had absinthe? Oh,
Yeah,
hell
yeah. Have you had it?
Oh,
hell
yes.
Yeah.
Hell
I've
yes.
never.
What's your experience
absinthe in,
like, man?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
What's
had
your-
it in what was it, Amsterdam?
What was your experience like?
Well, it's one that I can't talk about completely.
Yeah, that's right.
But
So that's a
the-
that's,
that's
that's
good
a
enough.
private.
PG-13
We'll have a
version
What
private.
happens
I
in
can tell you
Amsterdam
about
stays there?
was A lot of greenery.
That's the episode of
A lot
What'd
of
you say?
greenery when it comes to smokage.
Hell
When it
yeah.
comes to smokage. A lot of beautiful window dressings, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, they're
dude.
building a tower, like 2 buildings now.
Heck yeah.
They're building a new red light district over there.
Good on
As
them.
they should. They
Hell
should.
yeah.
They should call it the blue
Well,
light.
actually, they've been cracking down on the red light district because they're saying that it's been bringing in like a lot of crime.
Okay.
A lot of crime, a lot of foreigners, get too drunk, get too, liberal and everything, and they just end up screwing up everybody else's good time.
Yeah.
Of course, dude. Sounds like Americans.
I did see that. I did see that over there when
Americans,
I
they're
was in
just-
Amsterdam.
he didn't even
There
say
was
that, he
One
just said
club. There's this one club that I went to that I was offered absinthe for the first time, and it was done the right way. It was poured over a serving spoon that had a sugar cube on it. And you pour it
Bam.
over.
I was like, we got all of that.
We got the
You
hook.
pour it over the cube into the glass. You let the sugar trickle down into the glass of the drink. Then you suck on the sugar cube, and then you drink the drink.
Damn.
And they say that there's that little green fairy that you're chasing because it's made with wormwood, so it has hallucinogenic properties. I'll be the first to say that with true Amsterdam absinthe, that is 100% true.
Fuck yeah. I don't drink no more, so I just gotta live
100% true. I
vicariously
saw
through these
some
boys on this one.
very vivid
There
things.
you go. He gets all
I'll get
teamed out.
He gets all team redeemed.
real quick. Yeah.
So
Just make sure you're having a good day
Oh yeah.
when you
There
drink
you go.
that stuff. Having a bad day with absinthe, oof.
Yeah,
Not a
baby.
good combo.
I just gotta say, I love your headphones, Jeff. I noticed them at the beginning, and I haven't had just been able
Oh,
to.
they're
say
just
anything.
covers. They're just the.
Oh, okay, I was
ATS.
like, those are
just
pretty
love the
dope,
covers.
dude.
Yeah.
I'm digging that.
I got another question for you. When you're getting or in general, what's your favorite genre of music?
1980s pop, 100%, man.
1980s pop.
1980s
Like some
pop.
Cindy or what? Like some Cindy or how you
Like
feeling about that?
Video killed the radio.
Fuck
Stuff.
yeah,
No, like-
fuck yeah.
Some like Cindy Lauper though, right?
Well, yeah, I mean she was part of the rock and wrestling connection back in the day, man.
Fucking
I
right.
love Cindy Lauper. Huge fan of
Yeah, man.
Tears for Fears, Men at Work.
So,
Culture
that
Club. So many.
Yeah, that's the radio station here, 92.9.
Yeah.
92.9.
Dude, you should look up an artist that the boys especially like. His name's Cobra Man. He's more of a
They're Cobra Man. It's a group.
well, still, baby, he's the king. You know what I'm saying?
It was just fun.
Shout out to the brother Rigo. He showed me that.
Yeah, look up Cobra Man, dude. I bet you'd love it.
Yeah, write that down. Cobra Man. One
Yeah, write
word.
that
It's already logged.
Yeah.
It's already logged. Definitely.
He's like photographic memory. Told
You
you.
sound like Van Wilder's dad. Write that down. So, so as we're talking about, yeah, jot that shit down. He just fucking big brothered his ass.
Dude,
there
that's
on
so
that
good,
one.
funny,
Yeah.
dog.
What as we're talking about favorite like genres and stuff, what you said you're a movie, you love movies. What
Huge movie buff.
what-
Huge.
maybe like top 2 movies if you can really pick. That's always tough. I hate when people are like, what's your favorite movie? It's like fuck, dude. Like it's
Yeah.
There's so many things.
Smart way to approach that question because it's
Category?
impossible to put it in just one. It's impossible. If you're a true movie fan, you categorize your favorites. You categorize
Absolutely.
them, and you have your different categories of favorites. But if there's 2 that I can think of that I love that I would like literally have on a desert isle, these are the last 2 movies. These are the only 2 movies that you'd watch for the rest of your life. It'd be No Country for Old Men and Jaws.
Woo!
Wow.
Look at that.
Two different spectrums too.
He watched Jaws on an island.
Yeah. Well, he ain't in the water, so he's like, fuck, I'm feeling good right now. So
Think about it. For a while, I'll be scared as shit, but eventually, I'm like, I can get that motherfucker. I can get that shark. I can. I mean, it worked. So it builds up your confidence the more you watch it. Wouldn't make you afraid for the first couple times, but after a while, you build up that confidence.
okay, so Tylin, 2 movies. Go if you're on a deserted or a desert
American
island.
History X and Fight Club.
Damn, American and both Edward Norton movies.
Both of them.
Woo! Edward Norton's one of my favorites.
That is my dude.
I'm gonna say The Dark Knight
Oh, it's such a good movie.
and maybe Inception.
Damn.
Oh!
Both Christopher Nolan movies.
Whoa!
That is
Inception
also
on a
Yeah.
desert island, man.
be just
Wow,
fucking
that's-
tripping
that's
balls.
Gotta be
just
a
off
little
the
Casey
Casey,
character.
baby.
It depends on what kind of island am I on, dog. If there's foliage, I'm out there.
Hey,
I'm
you.
cool with my slime.
So for me, I would do Legends of the Fall because you got
Good.
action, tearjerker, love story,
Never watched it.
everything.
What?
No.
It's about Montana, dog.
Brother gets stuck in the
Hey.
fence. He just wants to cry.
Don't do it. Don't ruin it for him. That and the Big Lebowski, because I would want two spectrums of the.
And
you
the
know.
Lebowski.
Oh,
yeah,
you know I
dude.
love
All right,
Lebowski,
dude.
You
I
know
love Jeff
him.
Bridges, dude.
Oh, he's Jeff Bridges. Anything.
I
I'll
don't know,
fuck
man.
with
I
all
just
day.
thought it too. I just was thinking.
I think you
movies,
picked
man.
very valid
But
choices. But
Both
I
those
want
movies are good.
a
Long
strong,
as fuck, dude. You got to watch them twice. The day's over. It's good.
a strong third place and almost crept into second place is 2001: Space Odyssey. You can't go wrong.
I was a huge fan of Hal 9000 growing up. I'm like, man, that's a villain right there.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That's a fucking
My
villain. And I
voice
was
is
always the
cutting
kind
off.
of guy who rooted for the villains. I never rooted for the good guys.
Me too.
I,
That's
I
50 Cent
hated
has
the
a
fucking
line.
Good guys, because they took on this responsibility, and I'm saying to myself, I wouldn't take on these responsibility because in the end, all these people that you're trying to save, are they really worth saving?
Who's your
Yeah.
greatest villain then?
Yeah.
I
Favorite
always
villain.
rooted for the bad guys because in popular cinema they always lost.
Yeah.
In popular cinema, every now and then they didn't. And the first time that I came across a movie which I actually saw, how old was I? God, I don't know if I saw it. You know what? I think my parents did take it to me. I was only 3 at the time, but it was
I
Empire
wanna see
Strikes
myself.
Back.
Woo!
I saw Empire Strikes Back. I was 3 years
Never
old when it
seen
came
it.
out. But what I remember,
I know,
the
dog. I
movie
know.
did not end well for the heroes for the first time.
Hell yeah. My dad showed that to me. when I
They
was a kid.
survived. They survived and they got away, but they did not win the day.
Is Vader
And
your
I was
favorite
like,
villain
that's more
then?
realistic than anything. I love that.
Is Vader your favorite villain?
No,
Okay.
no.
Who's your favorite
Not
villain?
even
Yeah,
close.
favorite
Dude,
villain.
not even
I got-
fucking close.
I got one.
Not even fucking close. I've got a tie right now for my favorite villains.
This is awesome.
And I hate to say it, but it's a 3-way tie, and that's just because I love them so fucking much. Dennis Hopper played Frank Booth in Blue Velvet.
Oh, never mind.
He was just out of his mind, fucking crazy. Huffing amyl nitrate the whole goddamn time.
Was it called Blue Velvet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a David Lynch movie. Really, 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 really cool. My other one would definitely have to be Javier Bardem, No Country for Old Men, as Anton Chigurh. He was fucking ruthless. He was fucking
so
ruthless, man. My
That
favorite
fucking air
scene
compressed
in that
fucking
movie
cattle
was
prod.
at the gas station. Was at the gas station with the gas station attendant. That gas station attendant had no fucking idea what was going on. That he was looking death in the eye.
Yeah.
And he won that coin toss. And he won that coin toss. And afterwards, he's like, "Don't put it in your pocket. It's your lucky quarter. Where do you want me to put it? Anywhere, just not in your pocket. Otherwise, it'll get mixed in with the others and just be a coin." Which it is.
I love that. I love that you
The
just stopped.
imagery behind that. And oh god, I always keep forgetting his name, and I should never forget his name because because he's like the most amazing actor. What was the name of the actor again who played Commissioner Gordon in The Dark Knight?
That was Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman. Gary Oldman when he played Agent
He's one of my favorites.
Stansfield in The Professional.
Not good at actresses.
Have you guys seen that one?
We
No.
have a list. My wife and I have a list of like 240 movies, just going through like a bunch of different genres and years and stuff. And that's actually one of the ones that's on there. So now I know.
He was an incredible crooked cop.
Professional.
In The Professional. He was just incredible.
My third
always
movie I just
wondered-
wanted to say was
What's that?
my third favorite movie would be Wolf on Wall Street. I just wanted to.
Oh god, I love it. I can watch it any day of the year.
That's
So I gotta ask. My wife
Which one?
got me into musicals a couple years ago. So I got The Sound of Music just blew me away. Just the scenery, cinematography, the singing. Julie Andrews has an insane.
You put that as third place?
No, I said I'm gonna
Oh.
ask him a question.
Oh,
Chill,
I was like, oh my
motherfucker.
god.
I was just gonna
motherfucker.
ask if do you watch musicals? Do you have any that you
Oh, fuck
enjoy,
yeah.
like West Side Story?
dude, I
I
am,
watched
What's that story?
Hair
I'm
Buff.
very
Great.
versatile. I'm very versatile with my forms of entertainment. I like
Okay.
musicals. I like the opera. I like the
Yeah.
symphony. I like it all. I think that there's merit in all of them if you give them a chance.
Exactly.
Not everybody has the patience for musicals or the opera or the symphony.
Like
But when you
Wonka?
give it patience and you actually kind of give yourself over to it, it's amazing.
The Sound of
end
Music
result
was
that you get.
phenomenal. It was the
It is.
story, just
Mine
everything
is,
about it.
but my favorite is the Book of Mormon.
Oh yeah, I haven't watched that yet. We've been talking about doing that. My
The
sister
Book of
went and
Mormon
saw
is
it
one of my
on
favorite
Broadway.
Trey Parker and Matt Stone were absolutely 100% meant to be playwrights as well as South Park creators.
South Park?
They were
Yeah,
meant
what the
to
fuck?
be.
They made a musical?
You didn't know that? It's
No.
like it's
Yeah,
been like
they've
the number
done
one,
several.
one of the number one on Broadway's.
Dude, I love
What do you
South
think
Park.
South Park
I
the
sound
movie
so
was?
fucking
South
uneducated
Park
right
the movie was a musical.
Yeah, it's so good, dude.
Let's see.
Cannibal,
Ted.
they did Cannibal the musical. Cannibal the music. They did Cannibal the musical.
That was the first thing they did, right? That was like a college project, wasn't it?
Oh,
The
dude, it
first,
was amazing. It
yeah.
was amazing.
I've seen a little bit of it, but yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to ask because my wife really got me into him. I never had really watched him, and we've watched some
West
pretty
Side
good
Story, fucks.
It's fucked. Dude.
I only like Grease
Hairspray-
too.
Well,
What
we
about
did-
Rent?
Actually, I
haven't
like
seen that one
Crybaby too.
yet.
Crybaby and Grease too.
We watched a really funny one. If you're into movies, it's called Theater Camp, and it's just like a funny ass movie about just kids at a theater camp. And Libby, my wife, is pretty big into all that stuff, so she said it was pretty spot on. So if you want to watch a funny movie,
I love the theater. I love the I love the theater, man. I just how actors give themselves to the stage. Treading the pines, as they like to call it. I mean, I was a huge theater fan. I actually did theater when I was in school, and I've just always been a fan of a live audience in front of you. A live audience never intimidated me. It brought out the best in me.
Yeah, opera would be fun. That's one that I'd like to go to. And another good one, fan of the opera. Fucking what's his name? Big old dude from 300, Gerard Butler.
Oh yeah,
he's the main dude in that. He's got fucking beautiful
he did a
voice.
fantastic
Patrick
job.
Stewart, I think, is the other guy.
I wouldn't watch a
he's the
musical.
other
I don't
live
think,
interest.
or like
Dude,
it's
he
like
can
a
sing.
theater or anything.
He
But
can fucking
if
sing.
I can watch it live, I will.
Yeah, I was shocked because Gerard Butler's this big tough guy, and yeah, he kicked ass.
So, Jeff, you're pretty cultured. Do you like black box theater? You ever been to a black box theater?
Remind me.
So, like where they act it out and then they change scenes in the dark and then they come back out. It's a whole new scene, but the story
Believe
goes
it or
on.
not, I am not familiar with black box
What
theater.
the fuck,
no.
dude? See, Glacier's special, bro, because that
Hey,
shit.
I told
They don't
you,
have
nobody-
automotive, but they got black box theater in that motherfucker. I'll tell you what.
So Jeff,
Interesting
you can't
premise
tear
on the
apart an
theater. I
engine
like
with
that
black.
idea. I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah, dude. If you have a black box theater, bro, you go to a show. It's fucking bad.
So they could switch to a whole nother movie. Is what
No,
you're
they
saying?
just switch like
The
scenes.
scenes.
It's
Just
like
any scene.
yeah,
yeah,
they're swapping
it's like
quick,
a-
but
it's
it's a
like
whole
a-
different set.
it's like a play set, but they set it up every like 20 minutes. It's
Jeff,
dope.
you're living the fighter fan's dream.
Oh,
Not only are you front and center announcing the fights, but you get to watch every fucking major event and you get to see all the fights firsthand. Up and close as not only a spectator but as a man that's involved. Do you have any particular moments where you're just fucking mind blown, like you can't believe you're sitting there watching this shit go
all
down?
the time, even after all these years, because you have to look at the overall what people do for their respected livings and how many people out there that hate their jobs, but they go to them anyway because they have responsibilities. They have to do this, they have to do that, they have kids, they have a wife, they have family to take care of and such, so not everybody's happy with their jobs. But when I get an opportunity, I start fights, I don't finish them. I get the best seat in the house. I get the third best seat. The second best seat is the referee. The second best seat for a fight is the referee. I always feel
Fair
that
point.
I have the third best seat. I'm right up close. And one of my favorite things in this world is when I have a close decision in my hands, and the only people
Oh
who
my
know
gosh.
about it is the athletic commission and me.
that's awesome. That's a special moment every time.
That
basically.
is a special moment.
Yeah.
So, like, can you recall anything in particular? Like, I got one for you. How about Salt Lake HD versus Kai? When you were
Yo, you
standing,
built the anticipation
Well,
there.
I-
Good.
you did, dude.
I'm going to be honest with you. I was delighted, and it takes nothing away from Howard Davis.
Yeah.
I was the reason why I was delighted. The reason why I was delighted is because Kai basically created a blueprint for any BKFC fighters moving forward on how to deal with size difference.
Oh,
weight
yes.
difference. He absolutely saw a plan previous to stepping into the ring, previous even before he even stepped on the scale for the media weigh-ins, previous before he even stepped on the scales for the actual weigh-ins. He had a plan, and he saw it through to perfection. He absolutely saw it. He absolutely saw it through to perfection. And everybody, most people, well, I'm not going to say everybody, but the majority did not have him winning that fight.
Oh,
The
yeah. He
majority
was a heavy,
saw
heavy
the boxing
underdog.
skills, the
He made a lot of
size,
people
and the
money, though.
reach
I bet on
of Howard Davis. And not only that, the toughness. They didn't give Kai credit on his superior wrestling background, the fact that Kai is a natural athlete. And don't you think that Kai thought this through, knowing that he was going to step in there with Howard Davis? Not the opponent that he has wanted. We all know that win is the end result. That's the one that he wants more than anything. And I
Oh,
don't blame
yes.
him. It's a good fight. But I was so pleased when I saw that. I mean, I would have been pleased if Howard Davis had picked up the win, but I was pleased because I saw a fighter play his
Oh, you
part.
played it so well, too, man. The crowd was we were holding our fucking breaths, man.
No, it was good. Even though I looked at the live scores and it wasn't close, I was still nervous because of the way you were building it.
Yeah.
It's like, holy fuck.
I recall it perfectly,
Oh,
yeah,
it's-
dude, because I was like, dude, like we kind of
Come
felt
on,
it.
motherfuckers.
No,
it's
I
a
was
tease.
feeling it.
Like,
all right.
yeah,
It's
we
a
felt
tease.
it
I
in the
promise
air,
you, I
man.
felt the energy.
And
bro.
by the time you built it up, bro, like we were already eclipsed, man. We were fucking there.
That's what I
And you
want.
let it go.
When I try not to be,
I want you on the edge of your fucking seat. The way that I look at it, if I actually have somebody literally not only on the edge of their seat, but one person in that arena actually falls over, I've done my job well.
Job executed, man.
when I try not to have fangirl, if you will, too much, or when you come around, but dude, I just love like the whole thing. Like I told you in Salt Lake, the energy you bring, you're super fucking nice guys, super well diverse.
Cultured,
Yeah, cultured, as we're finding out now. And I mean, it's not like I didn't think you were before, but you're just a great dude. You know,
Yeah, I didn't
you're
think
like
you
the
were too.
full
Appreciate that.
package. You
Thank
know what I
you.
mean?
I
The
echo
suit,
that.
the tie, the voice. I mean, the energy that you bring to the crowd, everything about it is so fun. And I love talking to you, man. It's obviously these fighters and shit are cool, but like I said, between you and Brian Sosha, you are the two people that kind of really help
Amp
set
it up,
set
yeah.
the tone, amp it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're the
am
crowd.
thrilled how Brian Sosha has grown with BKFC. I really am. I really
Oh, yeah,
am,
me
because
too.
He's the
Brian
shit.
was
Love
very
Brian.
timid at the beginning because Brian didn't know a whole lot about combat sports because Brian was a former professional wrestler. And
What?
that was
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
dog.
yeah.
What?
He was a
Yeah.
flyer in wrestling, dude.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was actually, he was a professional wrestler.
Oh,
He
you didn't know
absolutely
that?
was.
Yeah,
It's
I
if
love,
you
sick
don't
as fuck.
know,
even more now.
Sick as fuck, right?
You too, like you and Sosha, are
It's
like
sick
some
as
of my
fuck, dude.
favorite people in BKFC. Anyway, sorry.
But
Continue.
he
I
was
love
so
Brian,
timid
dude.
at the beginning because of the fact that he didn't know. But as he started adding his own blend, his own brand, he started doing things his way. He started becoming just an amazing hype man. And it's not something that I would want to do myself because I don't believe ring announcers should be hype men. I believe ring announcers are all about controlling the moment and getting the crowd amped up with the right words. You say
And
the
in
right
those rare
words at the
times-
right time, you get everybody amped up. A hype man is designed to go out there and literally be an energy drink, a walking, talking energy drink.
Levi does impressions. Levi does
Um,
impressions.
What do you
Levi,
mean?
give us a Brian Soch impression.
The Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. That's pretty bad, but
You
I
get
got
it.
that one from
You
I
get
got
it.
that one from Ryan.
Yeah.
You know, you get the way you gotta roll the words. Fuck, I lost it. I was saying something. Oh, the rare times where you need to stall. Sosha's good at keeping that shit going too.
Hell yeah, he is. He's the man.
You know, like when something kind of goes wicked, say Knucklemania 3, where we had that 20-minute down part with this whole Cito thing going on.
we got
He
some
jumps
exciting
into
news. You know,
service.
actually,
Jumps into service.
Yeah.
we're coming to that point where we're gonna have to wrap the show up. We could talk with you all day.
Seriously.
You are the man. We'd love to have you back on midway through the season or whatever.
I just got 2 questions before he gets out of here, though.
Absolutely. I just want to make some announcements real quick.
All right, so we're announcing some shit. Let's go.
We got some
Speak
very
right here.
special
Speak right here. Right here.
announcements.
Zoom in, motherfucker. Come on.
Yes. As of today,
Right now.
officially
You heard it.
inked, signed.
Paper deal.
The boys from the bust are ready to bring you guys bucked up energy. Yeah! Shout out to Ryan
Who's ready to get
Gardner
bucked
and
up?
bucked up, man. The boys in the bus are ready to get bucked up and ready to bring you the energy, if you feel me.
So if you want to shop for a case of fucking drink, go to buckedup.com and use our code weekly at checkout.
Yo, and Peep Levi, he's doing an 8-week boot camp, so maybe we can do a little bit of updating with that as it goes along. And I'm doing a little bit of fitness stuff.
Yeah, I
so
fucked myself. I got my toenail took off, so
Hell yeah,
I'll be
dog.
back tomorrow.
R.I.P. to the toe.
And I want to say this special thank you to our now agent, the man, the myth, the legend out of Denver, Colorado, Taylor Radway out of Best Sports and Talent. He inked
He's
us
good
in that
people.
deal, got the job done. We are now a talented agent people.
That sounded really talented.
We're
Yeah.
talented agents.
Well, we are taken care of by a man that is
I'm sorry, that was fucked up.
talented in agencies.
Yeah.
That was fucked up. I'm sorry, I said.
No, I actually like the way you said it. We are a talented agent people.
Yep.
Because
That's
you
who we are.
collective.
So we're
people.
represented
We're
for the
collective.
first time because we are fucking hard to represent ourselves sometimes, and the man took on the job. So let's go.
Yeah, thank you, Taylor.
Also, I want to shout out Dustin Young Realtor Service. If you guys are in the market for getting some Montana property, of course, it's really hard to get because it's so dang beautiful here. You better hit up Dustin Young because they have the best properties for the
Making your
best
house.
prices,
Mhm.
and they are now
Oh, yeah, it's a good
sponsoring
house.
the boys from the
'Cause
bus.
I'm already square.
Let's go, Dustin Young. Thank you guys for jumping on board.
Hell yeah.
Because I'm already square.
He's a house.
Plugzilla over there.
Yeah, he's got a little
Plugzilla.
house building up. so-
Plugzilla. I'll
Yeah.
show them what that means.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And then we got 2 more questions for Jeff here. And just so happened to be he's a movie buff. So here we go.
Uh-oh.
One, because you're so well cultured and been everywhere. What's the most random event you sporadically ended up at? Rather you were working or just happened to go there?
Random sporadic event
Yep.
I ended up having to go to. Wow, that's a that's a loaded question. Probably sporadic because I wasn't expecting to do it. I was working with a Russian MMA organization called ACA, very, very popular. They're based out of the Chechen Republic in Grozny. It's a closed society. I was always under the impression that they always had their token Russian announcer available there because of the fact that it's a closed society. Very randomly, one day they decided for me to come down there and they said, not only are you going to be doing a show, but you're going to be doing a show for the head of state, Ramzan Kadyrov, the president of the Chechen Republic.
Damn.
So I
Nuts.
was just like, whoa, that's
crazy.
pretty deep. Just to give you an idea, I remember when I was in the middle of announcing a fight, they told me that when he gets there, doesn't matter if there's a fight going on, doesn't matter if there's you're in the middle of an announcement, stop what you're doing. Stop what you're doing right then and there. So I was just about to announce, and then all of a sudden, across the top of the arena lineup, all this from point to point, all these black ops snipers pointed at me, and I'm like, "Ooh,
Holy
no
crap.
pressure, no pressure whatsoever, no pressure at all." And the president goes to his VIP seating and such, and I figure, he's I know for a fact way ahead of time that he's a fight fan, but I figure he's going to keep his resolve. Because he's the head of state. He's the biggest fight fan I ever saw. He's standing up, throwing punches,
Yeah,
yelling
cool,
at the
man.
fighters, man. He's like Dana White, man. I'm like, he's just going crazy over that. And that was probably, in my opinion, one of the most random events that I've been asked to do because it was just so last minute, and it was also in an area that I thought that I would never be asked to do a show.
That's awesome, man. And Levi, you got your last question, buddy.
And what is your worst movie all time?
Worst movie ending, isn't it?
Oh,
Or
worst
worst-
movie
Or
ending.
wait,
Yeah, what's
is
your
it
worst
movie or just
No, worst movie ending. You're right. You got it.
No, or movie, whatever.
No, both. How about
I'd
that?
rather go with worst movie if I could.
Okay.
Worst movie ending. that could take a while.
Right.
Yeah.
That could certainly take a while. The worst movie I think that I've ever seen was Glenn or Glenda. Glenn or
That
Glenda
sounds
is
terrible.
Yeah, that sounds straight to
Glenn or
DVD type to
Glenda
me.
was an Ed Wood movie. It was actually Ed Wood's first movie. Ed Wood was a director of horrible B movies back in the 50s.
He's just known to
They
produce
did a
shitty
movie
movies.
about him, Ed Wood with Johnny Depp, where he portrayed Ed Wood, and he used Bela Lugosi in a lot of his movies. He did that terrible movie, you may have heard of it, Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Planet
It's an
9.
old,
You
yeah,
say?
it's an old movie, considered actually one of the worst ever. But
They
it
have it on
developed a cult
Amazon
following
or
after a
Paramount.
while. Glenn or Glenda was supposed to have been a trans sexual movie originally. It was supposed to feature somebody after a transsexual surgery. But what happened was when Ed Wood got a hold of the script, he rewrote it for
Glenn or Glenda.
he rewrote it for a what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word that I'm looking for when you dress up in women's clothes?
Drag.
No,
Cross-dresser.
there's what?
or
Cross-dressing.
Transvestite.
yeah.
So
okay.
he did it from the transvestite, but nobody liked it because it wasn't controversial enough. I mean, everybody was expecting the script to be this way, and he ends up making a movie pretty much all about himself and being a transvestite, at home and everything, and everybody hated it. It was a terrible movie.
Sounds terrible.
Absolutely terrible.
Awesome.
I'm gonna have to go watch it now.
Levi, before we let you go, Jeff, we got to drop with the rest of our sponsors real quick. So, Levi, why don't you lead us in, baby?
The Halftime Sports Bar, the best sports bar in town. You want to watch an event, you get down there. You want to eat a taco, you also get down there. You want to you do some other shit, guess what? You want to gamble, get fucking down there. Halftime Sports Bar, baby. Northwest Center, over by the northwest side of town, whatever. Kyle Hudson, trash removal. If you need something taken out, my boy Kyle will take it out, okay? And then if you need it removed, call Kyle because he's got the 2 men to get it done. If you need to help him, don't ask. No, I'm just kidding.
Hudson,
Kyle
trash
Hudson,
removal.
Hudson Trash Removal. 20 past 4, your one-stop vaping head shop. 5 locations, 2 Great Falls, 1 Helena, 1 Billings, and 1 in Prescott, Arizona currently. You know where to go. Get your water pipes and all types of accessories. Stop on down. You need a vape, you know where to go, baby.
Wisconsin, just a shout out for those guys. Shout out to Unger Sales.
Shout out to our Aunt Jamie St. Mark's.
And exclusive shout out to the new guys that jumped on board, Bucked Up Energy, and also a shout out and a major shout out for the ones that are local for Dustin Young Realtor Service.
Yeah. So if you need it, they got it. You need a house, go get it.
Jeff, you've been a great guest, man. I wish I had more time with you tonight. You're going to be on the show again, assumingly, right?
Of course, but before you guys bid me adieu, I definitely want to go ahead and throw something out there that just recently happened that I'm very excited about. I will be heading to Abu Dhabi on Tuesday. I am going to be working with a brand new promotion in Abu Dhabi. It's called ADXC. And it's a grappling and jiu-jitsu company that does live events, but they do grappling events with MMA style rules. They do it in a cage. They do 3 3-minute rounds, 5 3-minute round styles, 10-point must system, aggressive cage control. Rule set is actually put in for the matches themselves, and they have gi and no gi, which they like to call jiu-jitsu super fights and grappling super fights. And the main event is actually really cool. It features Chase Hooper and Aljamain Sterling.
What? Oh,
sick.
So
I seen him promoting some shit for that on his IG page, I think.
ADXC?
Yeah, I've been on Aljo's shit watching his
Oh, okay.
I just closed the deal
no
2 days
strikes
ago.
is what
I'll
it
be
is,
heading
right?
to the
Congratulations,
Arena
man.
Next week. Yep.
If you ever write a memoir, can I just come and smoke hella weed and listen to you tell your amazing stories?
Yeah,
Just hang out.
I just as long as you keep 6 feet distance, man. I'll be
Yeah. All right. Perfect. Yeah. We'll have a special stick made for you. If I'm getting too close, you let me know.
Shout out to Native Grown, the best marijuana dispensary in Montana.
Just to put you in your place, dude.
Yeah, exactly. I'm if anyone needs to be put in this place, I love being constantly reminded.
Native Grown has the best marijuana in all of Montana.
Voted.
Make sure you check out the best dispensary when you guys are out
The
there
best.
looking for your marijuana needs. Thank you.
Yes.
Jeff, you've been awesome. Thank you for coming on the Weekly Bust. I can't wait to one of us are a guest on Bones to Domes.
You
Or
make it happen, Captain.
hell yeah.
Let's do it, man. Thank you for jumping on and opening season 2 of Fight World Live.
You're the bomb,
Fight World
dude.
Live. Shout out.
Thanks, Jeff. You're the bomb.